Okay, I am here at the SynkedUP booth with Goose, and Fred, our Director of Customer Success, came out and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You've got to hear this guy's story." So Goose, tell us how it went down.
Okay, well, I bought SynkedUP in 2023.
Okay.
Did not use it for a whole entire year. And it's kind of, sometimes you look at something and you say $400 a month, how do I justify that cost? But yet I'll go out and buy an excavator and pay $1,000 a month because it's making me money. But this makes you money, and I didn't know how much until I actually started using it. So I was gonna drop you guys, and you guys said, hey, let's, when can you have time to go over with this? I said, no, wintertime. So in wintertime, I got on with Fred, and we did the face chats, and I started using the thing in December last year. And I quickly found out that the $400 is an investment. It's not a cost. My first bid that I did was $2,600. So it wasn't a big project, but I added up what I would have charged. I came up with $2,000 is what I would have charged had I done it my way. But doing it your guys' way, adding in overhead, trying to get to 15% or whatever profit you want in there, it came out to $600 more. I said, oh, why not? Let's just try it. I sent it. So they accepted it. And now I only did one quote that whole month because I was learning it. And so, but I got an extra $600 on that first quote.
Yep.
That paid for the whole month plus an extra $200.
So you got a steak dinner out of the deal.
So yeah, so I got something out of it besides paying for the thing. And I went home for lunch after I sent the quote. By the time I came home or back to the office, they had accepted it because I had it integrated with QuickBooks. They had already billed them. They had already paid me the deposit. So my 45-minute lunch, I came back and I had $1,300 in my checking account that I didn't have before I left.
Unbelievable.
And so, but here's the thing. So again, how do you justify $400 a month? But yet you'll do $1,000 for an excavator or skid steer or something like that. Well, my profit is up this year 26%. Okay, that could be what could that be? Could it just be better jobs, just more efficient? Well, I'm doing it with 4 less employees. So I normally have 12 employees. This year I only have 8. Sales are still up 26%.
Unbelievable.
The kicker is my profit. I am 8 times more profitable than last year. Now, last year wasn't a great year for me. 23 was my best year. Even with 23, my profit would be double what it was my best year ever. So I am a sold subscriber to SynkedUP.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you guys for partnering with me because I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
You guys suspended me for 2 months or put me on where I couldn't use it. Waited till I had time to sit and go over it with you guys. Love it. So it has made me money, and now I'm looking at it as it's not a cost, it's an investment. I could sit in it, but unlike skid steer or excavator, I can make money just by sitting at my office by punching in numbers now. And so I don't really have to work to be more profitable.
Well, that's really incredible, and congratulations on the growth, because that's work that you did. Sure, you use SynkedUP as the tool, but that's just the vehicle. Like you did the work to do that, and something to be proud of.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Question I want to ask you is what, in that moment when you wanted to cancel just because you bought it for a year, I forget it, just want to cancel, what would you say to someone else that's in those shoes as you were a year ago, as encouragement or a word of advice? What was the thing you were responding to, and how would you do it now? What would you tell yourself a year ago? What would be your word of encouragement or advice?
Good question. I do know that, to be honest, right up front, I'd spent $4,000 plus the $1,000, so I had $5,000 in it.
Yep.
And I hadn't used it because it was difficult to. I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's something new.
Yep. Yep.
And sometimes you don't get it right away. If I was just an office guy only sitting in the office, I could have just kept doing it. But I'm an owner operator.
Yes.
And so because of it, I'm doing the book stuff, but then I work 70% in my business and 30 on my business.
Yeah.
I know that's probably more than what it should be, but I like doing the work. If I were 100% in the office or 90% in the office, I could have learned that
faster.
But once I started doing the work, I didn't have time to learn it because I was out with the crews, out with the guys. And so I wasn't putting in the time. So part of me, it's not your guys' fault. It was my fault. I didn't learn it before the season started. Season started, and I'm like, I don't know how to operate this. And so I wasn't using it. Once I sat down and did the FaceTimes with Fred, and yeah, there is a little bit of a learning in getting it.
Yeah.
And there was multiple times I'd call Fred. I know I talked to you about this last week, but how do I do this again?
Yeah.
But now it's so easy. And I was telling Fred, like yesterday, just before I came, I wanted to leave at 5 o'clock from home. It was 4:30, and I had an estimate that I didn't get done because I was trying to get ready to come down here. I was like, oh, I have a half hour. Can I get this quote done in a half hour? And there was a drunk driver went through a retaining wall, and I'm like, and they wanted to use the same brick, which I don't like doing that anyway. So, but anyway, I thought, okay, I'll just give it a shot and see what I could do. So I did the quote on just fixing it, and it was pretty quick because it was basically using their material, just using a little bit of glue, and basically just hours. And then I thought to myself, I got that done in 10 minutes. I might be able to give her another quote. So I called her and I said, hey, can I give you a quote on a brand new retaining wall and new patio? She goes, yeah. I did that in 10 minutes. So with that half hour, I was able to give her 2 quotes. One, repairing her wall as is, and 2 is using brand new brick, brand new stuff, sent it to her. I haven't looked to see if she's responded, but I did that in 20 minutes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, which would have took me my way, the way I was doing it beforehand, writing out a contract, would have took hours, and then it would have been like, oh, now I got to do a brand new one for a new one. So,
meaning you probably wouldn't have done it.
I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it
because of pain. So,
right.
Exactly.
So it has made doing estimates so much. And that's got it. The fact that I can look back and see how profitable, because I did do cost analysis afterwards, but I was writing it out, and I was taking out of my folder all the bills and hours and figure per hour. Oh, that's too much. Or hey, I'm using larger format. I could not do quite as many hours to make me fit more in line for them to accept a quote. So I bought it for the estimating, and coming out with it, cost analysis, and that's making me more profitable too. So the fact that I'm 8 times more profitable last year, using only 2/3 of the hours that I did last year, some of it is better customers, but a lot of it I will say is you guys in the system that I didn't use in 23 that I had, but did use it this year, and I'm so glad I did.
Congratulations.